Previously on our Lost Age adventure, we finally got some foraging in. Though, turns out doing all of those materials at once is a bit expensive. So, I guess we're gonna have to come back when we're a little...
richer!
And don't you worry, we fixed those financial problems. I can assure you of that. For now, how about we take a little visit to my favorite dungeon in this game. It has been a while since I last played it, but even so, I still remember the music fondly, and the pretty clever ice physics puzzles. One in particular that takes advantage of Golden Sun's strengths. But first, didn't I have some tangent relating to Golden Sun and possibly even Dark Dawn to finish up? Oh yeah, I think I was just about to talk about... I'm not sure if this will be a hot take, but talk about how I feel like a lot of problems in Dark Dawn are actually just problems that already existed in previous games. And the time passed made them feel worse than they were in their original games. I don't know if I actually finished that tangent, but alas, if worst case scenario, someday in a Dark Dawn playthrough or editorial, I'll address all these feelings in full. For now, let's just enjoy the dungeon. There's definitely 3 exclusive problems, like the no points of return Ginnies. You could, if you try hard enough, you could argue that the no points of return for Ginnies thing it got from Golden Sun 1. But it's kind of a stretch. It's mostly just like there is one situation where you can miss out on a gym for a long time, and that's the one in Mongol Forest Courts. Because if you don't get in that dungeon, the game doesn't tell you this, so it's very easy to miss, but it's actually a one-way dungeon. You leave Mongol Forest and you can't backtrack through it. I got a little sidetracked, but your point of Golden Sun 1 has better mobs has really got me curious, because I find the enemies more interesting in 2 from what I've played. They seem a lot... It might just be because they seem new and fresh, and 2 reuses enemies from Golden Sun 1, so it feels like 2 has more diversity just because of that. But you might have a point if it comes down to how it's arranged. Oh, you mean the bosses? I think I like the bosses in both of the games. But I have to compare them side by side to really decide which ones I like more. I can sort of see where you're coming from, because with 2, a lot of the bosses that come to mind are giant apes, giant scorpions, giant other animals. I kind of got a feeling that might be what you're getting at. Not to say that Golden Sun 1 also does that, because one of the bosses is literally a giant ape. But they do still feel a bit... Certain ones, like, I can name more Golden Sun 1 bosses off the top of my head, like the Kraken and the Tornado Lizards. They have more personality to them than just being big. Blackbeard versus Dullahan. Oh, that's an interesting take. I always assumed that Dullahan was the fan favorite, but it might just be because his boss fight is so infamous. For you, Beard seems much more threatening. Interesting. He is an undead pirate, while Deathbeard is kind of just a... I'm going in a circle. Yeah. I definitely see your point about Dullahan's fight being a power creep. I don't know how much of it was intentional and how much of it was like the game trying to push you into a different type of battle style than how you would normally play Golden Sun. Like, it has all these abilities that you normally that like limit your gens and force you to like use all 8 your party members, and even then it doesn't feel like enough. So I kind of get how the power creep thing feels. Like, I'll admit it. I've never actually beaten Dullahan in the Lost Age. I've beaten him in Dark Dawn, but I've no... in a combination of it being too hard for me as a kid and never getting around to it when I have actually been experienced enough to actually take him on, I've never actually beat Lost Age Dullahan, which makes me kind of surprised that people want a dungeon for Lost Age. At least if I think of it from the mindset of them wanting a harder version of the game. Not because they... Mostly because I don't... My biggest concern about making a full ROM hack of Lost Age is... It's the lack of confidence in how I feel about how the game moves up. How do I want to word it? Like... I'm not opposed to doing it, but I'm afraid that it won't come out as good as Golden Sun 1, because I'm not as familiar with this game as I am with that one. So we'll have to see when I actually finish Donagen how I feel about doing stuff in the Lost Age. And I can already tell that it would be a lot more fun to actually make stuff up for Lost Age, because the editor I used was made for Lost Age first and foremost. So I really had to push my creativity with Dawn of Jin just to find, because I was so much more limited in types of features types of things I could implement in comparison. Oh, more Dullahan lore. Power creep, having the 4-turn kill is a cheat code to kill him. Oh right, it's been so long I almost completely forgot about that. Like, how's he go again? Like, I think there's like a certain combination you do things and it just makes the fight way easier than it would otherwise be. Okay, remind me, we'll continue this another time, but I gotta point out just how fun and creative this part of the game is. Just the way that you use... Like, pushing blocks around ice physics is nothing new, but the fact that the way you push blocks around in Golden Sun is a bit different from your typical game really is... I think this is a dungeon where Lost Age really shines. Because look at that. Actions speak louder than words. It's not every day you see another game where you can even do something like that. Okay, I think I know what I gotta do here. Yeah, just the fact that you move it once, that you don't even push it, but moving it once just slides it across. I don't know, I guess when you think too deeply about it, it's not that different. But it's still different enough to feel special. Alright, let's see if move will actually... Oh, this is just great. Hey, well, remember that tangent we were having about Dark Dawn? Here's something that actually would give Dark Dawn over the other games. The fact, if this is Dark Dawn, I could move that log on the right without issues on the left. Screw it, I'm gonna look up the guide because I swear you should be able to move it, but maybe there's something more obvious I'm overlooking. Okay. Yeah, now that I say it out loud, now that I actually see it, it's kind of obvious. You can go the other pillar that's on the ice. Don't worry, Ryu. Why can't I talk for the life of me today? Point is, I figured it out. I guess that's easy to forget about because there are some times when trying to do that exact sort of thing is a lot more finicky in Golden Sun games. And I think just the fact of having the touchscreen and being able to move stuff around by pointing at what you want to interact with did work in Dark Dawn's favor. this took me a long time to actually acknowledge that you can do one empty space to move. While we're on the tangent of Golden Sun, who wants to have a rant about NSO? Like, it's fresh on my mind because I complained about it in the XG recording, but I still can't get over the fact that they announced Golden Sun 1 just barely. Oh, wait. We must be coming here too early, because I know we don't need burst quite yet. Burst is the whole thing you get at the end of the dungeon. There's a whole mess of things that you can do, you gotta do before you normally would have burst. I know I need to crack the mirror, but I know I need burst to crack the mirror. And normally you would get burst at the end of this dungeon. No guarantee that we're gonna get it here, because randomizer and all. Well, back to the drawing board. It's especially unfortunate, because that's the only place in the game you use Parch, and that's the only new synergy that we got recently. We really need to figure out where the heck Reveal is and get it. And I can at least tell you it's not an Ayers Rock, unfortunately. Because I definitely went for that entire place. I have it. When did that get revealed? Oh, right. That was the other synergy we got from Aqua's Rock. Okay, false alarm. I think that's where we got it, at least. Because I definitely remember there's a lot of stuff that I had to pass up doing because I didn't have Reveal. Well, that's good. It's good we have Reveal because, as I was saying, there's a lot. This is what happens when you end a stream in the middle of a dungeon. I didn't even take more than a week off. And yeah, I already forgot about it. You know, I remember Geo being a lot more impressive than that. It might just because he's an attack multiplier and get him in the end of the game, but I have to like double check the wikis and that to remember if he's an attack boost or an attack multiplier. Yeah, I mean, it's visually crazy. I was just talking about the pure numbers. Oh, what am I doing? That part's already been solved. I forgot that was a perma hole. It's fine, I like doing that puzzle. Wow, we're already getting stone. No. The S's are tripping me up. I remember just putting that one into a late game area of Donna Jin. So it feels kind of weird to run into it already. But then again, I guess like there's a whole... Cool, it's not burst. I mean... I think we all saw this coming. But that doesn't make it any less disappointing. Is it at least better attack than the stuff that we already... Yes. Much better. Bit of a shame because there doesn't seem like to be too much more we can do without burst. But at least we can finish up the ruins hopefully quick. Now that we have Reveal. And we did get to do most of this place. And then I think part of the reason I like this dungeon too is the music. It's such good music. Then again, like, you could say that with the majority of the dungeons in this place. But there is a nice wintry feel to this that kind of makes it like good alternative Christmas music. Right. Before I forget, the Jin. Before rewrite, yell at me about it. Before I forget, we do still have to get that Ginny in here. I almost forgot about it. Oh, cool. I never noticed this before, but the game forces you to try to learn burst by... That's the whole... I always wonder why they make you push this random log down. It's the game's way of trying to force you to actually use... Sorry, I paused because for a minute there I thought I made a fool of myself. But I'm pretty sure that we couldn't actually go that way. Alright, now to try to remember the best route to get to the Ginny. Did I even bother straight away? Yeah, that's... Sorry, I just want to pause on this and maybe get a screenshot for later. I just find something immensely amusing about this apple. This sacred apple concealed away in ice for 50,000 years. It's a sacred apple, and it's not even old or rotten because it's completely encased in ice. Alrighty. I kinda wanna go left to see if there's anything that we can get. Yeah, it's an ancient fridge, that's a good one. Someone forgot it in there. I like to think that it was sealed away for its evils. For all of his crimes against doctors. You know the whole thing of an apple a day keeping the doctor away. No one tells you why or how the apple keeps the doctor away. I know it's an old thing about Gabby. Go on. I say the sacred apple is sealed away for his sins against the doctors. It's nice that the enemies that poison you drop things to cure the poison after the battle. It really just goes to show a hole in the armor that is my current move slot and classes and all that. So, don't mind the fact we're going through here a 4th time. I'm gonna just turn the void on for everyone's sanity. I don't feel as bad about this as like the ruins or Ayers Rock, because I know every single time it's been on me. And I'm not sure what that really makes of me, but I know it makes it harder to pin it on the game. No, I've been this way before. Alright, we slide across here, and then I think we slide down, and that takes us to approximately... No, there was a doorway too. We'll get to where that Djinn is eventually. So, I think what happened was I accidentally went up here. There we go, and then we slide down. And that took us to about where the Djinn was. Alright. This is a good old gold and silver ice pushing logic puzzle. So, let me have this. Already I see a problem because the Djinn... Where the Djinn is doesn't exactly line up with somewhere I can slide, especially from the right side. I feel like I have to fall from the sky. Something. And I said I wanted to do this myself, but I also don't want to just go around in a circle all day. Yeah, they're like this literally impossible without as is, because I would need to be in that far left area in order to slide right into it. But if I tried to, but there's no way to do that without just sliding all the way up. I didn't see another place to fall though. I feel bad looking into this because it's like the one ice sliding puzzle we got. Okay, I didn't look at the solution fully, I just looked to saw that there was a solution. So... I know that... I don't get how, but it is supposed to be possible. Without going anywhere else. Okay, oh, hold on. I saw a movement in the chat. I'm not reading it because I think it just clicked. It just clicked with me where I gotta go to actually get to where I need to be. I'm not gonna look at chat because I want to solve this. I know I gotta get to that bottom area. How I get there without going on to the block that I was trying to get to in the first place is a bit more Oh man, I looked at chat and I saw that you said I had it twice. Oh boy. 7. 4 minutes of stubbornness later, I eventually caved 5. And looked at the chat. Backtrack. Don't see anything different yet. Keep going this way. Wait! There we go. Feel a little bad that I resorted to looking, but... Oh right, it's a dungeon you fight. Well... Who needs to be prepared? We have a way to put it to sleep, so I don't think running is really going to be too much of an issue. Unless I already used the gin that... Good lord. Well, who needs to put it to sleep when I could just beat it before it runs? We don't get enough opportunities to use Bane anyways. Yeah, deadly poison. Usually you don't get access to that until way too late into the game to actually do anything with it. That's kind of like that is a little bit of the perks of the randomizer for me. Plus holding it down should buy me more time to finish you off. Or I could just finish it like that. So... I like to say with that... Oh, world! So we would need burst for that, so... I just had to make sure. But it does seem like we've done everything here that we can at the moment. That being said, I do know... one more thing that we could do, allegedly, relatively easily. I did spend way more time in the ruins than I like to admit, but we did practically clear out the dungeon, including a shortcut, so I'm kind of hoping that I remember where that shortcut is right away, and just get back to where I was, no question. Sadly, getting back to that point in the dungeon was more of the opposite of no questions asked. Like all the questions asked and all the time wasted. Alas, but that's what cutting is for. I did the thing that the guy told me not to do. We were supposed to keep on going. There we go. This is the point where the game hardwalled me on making any more progress. So now we got the right side ahead, and we should be able to just push that down and climb up. And then the dungeon will be done. Not gonna tell me step by step of how to get back to the center there. I'm gonna assume that this is a shortcut to that center area then, because why else would the game put the shortcut in if you weren't supposed to use it eventually? Excellent. I was gonna say, what's normally the point of coming here? But I completely forgot about the prongs. You know, the whole reason we can't go to Lemuria quite yet. Was that really the only path? Like, you have an entire waterfall, and this is the only thing that it led to? I didn't even bother to check the other path. I'm kind of wondering if I should have took the time to double check. Oh, here we go. Now, this is a sand waterfall. Actually, wouldn't that be called a Sanderfall? Sandfall? I guess it would technically be Sandfall. There's gotta be... The English language is so complex and overly complicated and redundant that surely there's a cooler name for a sand waterfall out there than Sanderfall. It's called a landslide. I mean, I would go along with you for the sake of the bit, but the literal part of me goes, no. Landslides have to have some amount of rock in order to be there, but kind of see where you're coming from. The more I think about it. All this way and all we got is shoes to get sand stuck in our feet with. Oh, everyone has boots. Slight change of plan. Care more about her water resistant than her luck. But actually, doesn't Jenna normally have bad luck by default? Ask her. That was the only other thing you get here, right? Right. And now you have a more sense of fashion. True. Let me double check the time, because I do want to keep going. Oh, I shouldn't have done it then. I want to keep going, but if I am going to keep going, I'm going to need to take a little break. Now that we got reveal, various options for item checks have, well, revealed themselves. And hopefully from doing that, our next path forward will unveil itself. It would be redundant to say reveal twice. So until next time in our Lost Age adventures, take care.